Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Man here. So we found out at CinemaCon Thursday night or Thursday evening, our time, that Lionsgate, the studio that's behind the John Wick franchise, came out. They showed footage for John Wick Chapter 4. We have not seen that footage yet. The movie doesn't come out until next March. They delayed it a whole year almost. Originally it was supposed to come out, May of 2021. And then because of the pandemic, it got delayed. And then they pushed it a whole year to May 2022. And for some reason, they delayed it until March 2023. So, we're probably not going to see that footage anytime soon. Maybe not till August. Probably not till late summer. I'm going to assume when the Expendables 4 comes out, that's when we'll get the first footage for John Wick Chapter 4. Same studio. But they did officially confirm that Ana de Armas is going to be the star of that John Wick spinoff film, Ballerina. Now, we've been hearing about this Ballerina spinoff movie set in the same world as John Wick all the way back in the summer of 2020. I remember I was sitting outside, right outside the house I'm living in right now, and the news came up. John Wick producers are developing a spinoff called Ballerina based on the small footage we saw in John Wick Chapter 3 of when John Wick went to the assassin school, if you will, and Angelica Houston was the teacher of this ballerina class. And we saw one ballerina up on stage doing some dance moves. And apparently that's the character that we're going to be following in this Ballerina movie. Now, of course, at the time that Ana de Armas was not the actual ballerina on stage. And the good thing is they never showed the actress's face who was doing the ballerina moves. They just had a back profile of her. So, smart idea for them. But Ana de Armas is officially going to be playing the ballerina. They didn't say her actual character name. They just said ballerina. I think this is great news. This is great news on so many levels. One, what I love about the John Wick franchise, besides just the action, obviously, and Keanu Reeves, is the way that each movie has built out its mythology and its world building throughout so far the 3 movies we've gotten. Each movie has developed more and more of this world. Even like this, to the point that just in John Wick Chapter 3, they just had this one small scene that showed this whole ballerina teaching class. And these ballerinas become assassins. And it's, run by Angelica Houston. And I just thought, I said, I'm not a ballerina. I've never done ballerina school. Never done ballet. Unlike my brother who wanted a Malibu Barbie when he got a ballerina Barbie for Christmas one year. That's an Addams Family joke. I remember watching the scene of the movie going, I don't know why, but I want a whole movie on this ballerina school. These ballerinas who become assassins. I want that movie. I don't know why. And to know that we're actually going to get that movie is awesome to me. Then you add the fact, like I said, Ana de Armas is becoming this major actress in Hollywood. She started in the States in 2016, co-starring with none other than Keanu Reeves in the movie Knock Knock, directed by Eli Roth. And then she did movies like War Dogs with Miles Teller, Hands of Stone with Edgar Ramirez. What else did she? Blade Runner 2049 with Ryan Gosling. She was just in Knives Out. She was the star of Knives Out. That was her first real starring role. She obviously showed up in last year's No Time to Die in James Bond. She had a small scene in that movie, but let me tell you, that movie basically gave her this role. Because not only was she awesome in that one scene in Bond, but she did all her own stunts. You can go and watch the behind the scenes of her, doing all the choreography, all the gun fu, if you want to call it that, the gun shooting and gun play, along with kicking people's asses, punching, and I'm watching this going, if the James Bond people don't do something with her character in the future, I really do hope this whole rumored John Wick spinoff wanting to get her actually comes to fruition. And sure enough, Ana de Armas is going to be playing the Ballerina. And this is great for her. And like I said, they're not going to do anything with her in the Bond franchise. The Knives Out is more going to be like an anthology sequel series. Yes, she's going to be playing Marilyn Monroe. We're going to get that movie later this year. She's going to be in the Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans movie, The Gray Man, coming out in July on Netflix. An action spy thriller. Like I said, she is rising in Hollywood. She was the runner-up for Catwoman in the Batman. Not only that, not just the casting of this movie. We're getting the director, Len Wiseman, directing this. And one thing I can say about Len Wiseman, he might not be the best director in Hollywood, but when it comes to action movies, this is a great choice to direct this John Wick spinoff movie. Len Wiseman was the creator and director of the first two Underworld movies with Kate Beckinsale. Once again, those movies have the great action, stylish action in them. Very well done. Then he went and did Live Free or Die Hard, the fourth Die Hard in the Die Hard franchise, the one with Timothy Olyphant, Maggie Q, Justin Long, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And I have to say, in my own opinion, I think the action in Die Hard 4 is probably the best action in any Die Hard movie. Go watch the action scenes in Die Hard 4. They're great. They are great. Then he did the Total Recall remake with Colin Farrell, Kate Beckinsale, Jessica Biel, and Bryan Cranston. And once again, another pretty good movie. A remake of the original Arnold Schwarzenegger classic. But I like what Len Wiseman did with this new one. It was more like the book than the actual original movie. And once again, the action scenes were really, really good. The one sequence with Kate Beckinsale and Colin Farrell fighting in their house was excellent. So, like I said, John Wick franchise isn't, you go to see these movies for the action, and Keanu Reeves, but for the action. And if you're going to do another movie in the John Wick world, and it's going to be an action movie, you got the right guy to do action. Yeah, you could have gone with and I know a lot of people out there are going to say, why don't you go with David Leitch? The guy who did Hobbs and Shaw, Deadpool 2. David Leitch was like I said before, David Leitch co-directed the first John Wick. So, He's already done a John Wick movie. The only other director I would have probably gone with would have been like Justin Lin, who did Star Trek Neon and Fast and Furious movies. But Len Wiseman's a good choice. So, and this movie starts shooting this summer, which means this movie will probably come out next year, which also means in 2023 we're going to get a John Wick Chapter 4 and this Ballerina movie. So 2 John Wick universe movies in the same year. There's going to be a lot of action. A lot of gung fu. So I'm looking forward to this. We don't know yet if Angelica Houston's returning. I'm going to assume she is. But she might only have a small role in the movie. And who knows, I wouldn't not be surprised if Keanu Reeves shows up at some point in the movie. At the beginning, at the end. Maybe by the end to set up like John Wick Chapter 5 with her and Keanu Reeves. That would be fun. Anyway, that's it for this news. Looking forward to it. I'm sure we're going to have more updates in the coming months. And then before you know it, we'll probably get a trailer when John Wick Chapter 4 comes out. So, look forward to that.